The college basketball experience pregame show for Saturday, March 9th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pickup for a chance to win 100 times the amount of money you enter in NBA, NHL, college basketball, and much, much more. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool and enter Champs free bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college basketball experience pregame show for Saturday, March 9th. And these Saturdays keep getting better and better and better as the season goes along, the way a sport should. Got a lot. I mean, it's funny. I was doing I was up early, got my coffee here. They asked me, I was on a show and they said, rate your top 5 games of the day. I'm like, oh, fuck. Including conference tournaments, I asked, and they said, yeah. And I go, man, that makes it really hard because you got the OVC championship game. Obviously, Carolina Duke's best rivalry in sports, if you ask me. Kansas, Houston going on. You got, Providence, UConn. You got just a lot of Creighton, Villanova, a lot of really good games. It was hard to do. Anyway, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of action out there today. Championship games, tournaments starting, tournaments ending. Great rivalry games. Let's go. I am joined by my co-host every Saturday morning, host of the NBA Gambling Podcast, host of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. You've also heard him on the NFL Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast, but he got his start right fucking here. Give it up for Terrell Furman Jr., a.k.a. Really, Rel, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm great. I'm living T-minus 48 hours. 48 hours from now. 49 hours. 49 hours from now, I will be able to legally play sports bets in North Carolina. Hey, is it sounding like a 4-man? Is it sounding like a 4-man booth on Monday? Is that what it sound like here?
Oh, it is. It should. It should be sounding like a 4-man
booth.
Yes, get on over, especially if a certain team wins today.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to be there regardless. You don't got to worry. Win or lose, I'll be there. But especially when a certain team wins today.
Yes. Folks, if you don't know, my brother, NC Nick, big-time Duke fan, and Terrell Furman, big time Carolina fan. So it's great to have it in house. Even the rivalry touches SGPN here. Yeah, dude, that's fantastic. It took Carolina long enough. All right, California's still behind the fucking 8 ball here too. You gotta do the old play action fake in California. The amount of good games today / tournament games that I'm compelled by. Probably, I know I say this every Saturday, but I think this is actually the biggest one for me because it's just so many good games on at once. I'll just start. I'm going to go chronologically. I don't know that this one's a big game, but historically, I feel like they've given us some good games. Arkansas is getting 15 at Alabama. Nate Oates and Alabama lost 2 straight. Arkansas, though, impressive performance at Kentucky despite losing. I took the Razorbacks plus 15, even though I know Bama's lost twice in a row, which is the potential for a blowout here. I just think Alabama wins by 11, 9, something like that. Shout out to Clark who placed 33 bets today. That's what I'm talking about. I'm on the same level, man.
Sheesh.
What are you doing here in this matchup in Tuscaloosa with the Must Bus and Nate Oates?
Arkansas defense been playing a lot better, but I'm not certain if they're going to be able to keep up with the scoring for Alabama. Like when Alabama gets going and gets rolling, then it's, point after point after point, run after run after run. If you go on a run, they're going to go on 2 runs. And so I really do think this is a bounce back spot for Alabama. Last game of the season, Arkansas still don't think is that good. I think Alabama rolls, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a harder game to just because the situational spot. I am super intrigued by this, and I just bet about 45 minutes ago. I got the Memphis Tigers plus 8 at Florida Atlantic here. This was obviously an NCAA tournament game a year ago where Memphis kind of pissed it away, had a 1-point lead, 7 seconds left and the ball, and somehow managed to lose that game. And the rest is history as FAU went all the way to the Final Four. They met one time earlier in the season and Memphis got it done. I don't think Memphis overlooks this fucking game. I think FAU could still win this game because I think FAU is good, but to me, 8 points is ridiculous. I know. Yeah, by the way, there's a 7.5 at a lot of books. If you are going to take the FAU side, I'm on Memphis plus 8. I just think their athleticism. They're playing much better ball down the stretch here. This game's on CBS. They've won what? They're 7-3 in their last 10. I just think if they lose, it'll be a close game. Your thought?
And Memphis is able to defend. Memphis is able to defend the 3. They can defend inside of the paint and really just get physical and make things tough for Florida Atlantic. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, and this is going to be one of those bar burners. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll back the Memphis Tigers to keep it close. I'm with you. I think FAU does get the win, but they get the cover.
Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Brian Smith who says, finally caught the show live for the first time. Appreciate you. Appreciate you going out of your way to check it. I mean, the CAA is tipping off today, and I will tell Monmouth head coach King Rice, former North Carolina Tar Heel former North Carolina Tar Heel point guard. His son, Xander Rice, isn't. Have you caught this kid? It's actually remarkable that he's playing at. That's a good son, helping out dad because he is a fucking baller and he could play at a lot of places. Monmouth. This is the first round of the CAA tournament. Monmouth's laying 5.5 against Campbell. Campbell stormed the court, upset Wilmington in the past 2 weeks. Monmouth, I was all over the first 2 months of the season. I felt like they were just better than, but down the stretch they struggle a little bit. I'm still gonna take Monmouth. I think Xander Rice is the best player on the court. I think Monmouth. Campbell's had a decent year. Not a better year, but like for their standards, they're up a little bit. But I'm laying the 5.5 with Monmouth. Do you have a play on this one?
Yeah, I'll lay it with Monmouth. Lay the 5 or 5.5. Not too confident on this play. Definitely not as you. Even though they do have Xander Rice, this Monmouth team still has struggled on and off consistently, just to hold that consistency all year. And Clark Townsend talking about Campbell's coach is out, so that's going to be another level of this game. Not having your coach there, is that a get up spot? Does that hinder you? So I'm on Monmouth here, but not enough for me to get in here and get a bet in.
Yeah. Other tournament in the in the NEC Northeast Conference, LeMoyne, I think getting 7.5. It's funny. I think LeMoyne's live. This is a team that can't go to the NCAA tournament. Whenever you have that, I feel like they play a little more freely. There's no pressure. It's just like, hey, okay, we can't go. Let's just go give them our best fucking shot and get out of there. Meanwhile, Merrimack, 9-1 of their last 10, looking good, but I don't know. I just like the fact Merrimack's the 1 seed. They have all the LeMoyne is playing with house money, so I'm going to take a shot on the Dolphins covering against Merrimack, and I like that just because I like that angle of the team that has no pressure. Merrimack still probably wins the game, but I just think, no pressure. When you're that 1 seed, you tense up a little bit. You see it over how many different tournaments. You got to play on LeMoyne.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there to where I'm able to back LeMoyne. I just think that the defense for Merrimack is smothering, and it's going to be a lot. They're one of the best defenses in college basketball. Able to defend the 3, able to guard inside the paint, don't foul a lot. Their turnovers are insane. Like, the turnover margin is one of the best. I just don't know if they're going to be able to put up points. So I'm on Merrimack.
Yeah. I understand it. Merrimack, and Merrimack has a little chip on their shoulder. They won the conference last year, but they couldn't enter it. But that's part of my reason for taking LeMoyne is the teams with no pressure just say, oh, okay, let's go out and fucking, you got a game today? Let's go play a fucking game. I am fascinated by watching this matchup. Longwood, High Point. I was really impressed with Longwood yesterday. Big South semifinal. High Point, man. Fans, they were out and rocking High Point. This is an on-campus game. It was beautiful. It's college basketball at its finest. Longwood's getting 7.5, 8 points right now. I took Longwood. I have yet to bet this because I am, on campus makes a difference with that much energy in the building. I still think Longwood plus 7.5 or 8 is where I reside. I still may bet this. Your thoughts on this?
I don't know. High Point's pretty good, man. And that
was impressive.
I just think that being at High Point is just an extra factor that everybody else doesn't have to deal with. Like, you don't have to deal with the travel. You don't have to deal with,
And that place was lit yesterday, man.
Yeah, like I think Longwood's going to make this a game early, but I think at the end of the day, this spread is short enough where I think High Point is going to be able to walk away with it in the end. So I'll lay the 6.5 for High Point.
All right, there you go. Shop around depending on what side you're on. Okay. So me and Mac were talking about this. The SoCon tournament never goes chalk. Never. Like yesterday, it did go chalk. So that means today, watch out. Mercer, 16-16 Mercer is taking on Sanford, who's 26-5.
I don't think this is the one.
Mercer beat them though last time they played.
I know. That's the point. Mercer just beat them. Sanford is going to come in here angry, pissed off.
I think Sanford's going to win, but I think Mercer is going to cover. I think 7.5, 8 is what I see out there. I'll take.
I'm not mad at a cover.
No bet. I'm actually not betting this game, but I'm intrigued to watch it just because SoCon historically gets a little crazy as the tournament goes on, but yeah, I'll take the points. No lock. What are you doing here?
Yeah, tough spot here because you have Sanford, who has a great offense, but really, really limited on the defensive side of ball here. If I had to play anything, it would be an over in this game. I don't know how this total is at 153.5, and it went well over. I think both teams scored 80 in both matchups. Like, this has been well over 160 in both games. I think both teams are going to score. And now that it's getting up to 9.5, I kind of sat there and say Mercer, but when it was at 6.5, I was pretty cemented on Sanford getting it done. But now it's a question.
I gotta play here. App State has had an unbelievable season. 26-5. They're down there in Florida at the Sun Belt tournament in Pensacola. And unfortunately, they drew their arch rivals. 9-23 Georgia Southern. App State only beat Georgia Southern by 1 on February 3rd. The other game was close too. Both times Southern covered. And Georgia Southern comes in with a 3-game win streak. This is a terrifying game, I think, if you're an App State fan. Best season in App State history. And now you got to play a hot, shitty team and your arch rival, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's getting 13.5. I've already bet the shit out of Georgia Southern. I think they're going to stay in this game. App may win it, but I like App. I want App to win the tournament. This is a terrifying spot to me. Anytime you can catch your arch rival, because this will make Georgia Southern will be like, yeah, we're having a horrible year, but this will make our season. You beat your arch rival, who's the 1 seed. I'm signing up. What are you doing here?
I don't know if I say beat, but I do think that there's a level of App that is not looking past this Georgia Southern team anymore, with the fact that they've had some close calls with them this season. I think App's going to be a little bit more locked in, but it's a lot of points. 13.5 points. That's a lot in a conference tournament game. I'll take 13.5. App wins by 10.
Yeah, I think it might even be closer than that. But yeah, I mean, maybe free throws down the stretch. It's a little bit off the grid here, but Liberty got their ass whooped the other day as they went to Middle Tennessee. Liberty's back home in Virginia, taking on Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's been a darling of mine, but they've had their struggles on the road. They've lost 3 straight, actually. The Flaming Libs are laying 4.5. I will take Liberty minus 4.5. Lock. This place will be rocking. In Western Kentucky, the Tops won by 2 back on January 6th. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I haven't locked anything up all day, so I'm going to go ahead and join you with the lock here. I think that this is a great spot for Liberty to go out here and get this done.
Let's go. All right, rivalry games, the name of the final Saturday in college hoops. The final regular season Saturday for some of these games. Oklahoma, Texas going on in Austin, Texas. This line's come down 1.5 since it opened, which is a little weird to me. Texas obviously squandered a 14, 15 point lead against Baylor, ended up losing by 8. Oklahoma, fresh off an overtime escape against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Texas beat them down in Norman by 15 points on January 23rd. Final matchup within the Big 12 as these rivals go at it in the Big 12. I actually took Texas here, but I'm a little terrified with the line movement. I didn't bet this though. I might bet it still, but I'm on. Something to monitor is the Dylan Dessou injury. He's a game time decision. John Hughley is also a game time decision for the Sooners, as same with Javian McCullum. So a lot of X factors here. That's kind of why I'm staying away. The Moody Center, that new stadium for Texas, is always rocking. I went Texas. No bet. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I slightly into Texas too. I don't know if I'm gonna get in on the action on this one because I do think that this could be like maybe a close 3 point, 4 point game. Like we might be sweating the last couple of points on that cover there, but Texas really needs this win. Like they
They
really,
really do.
really
They
need
could
this
end up
win.
the 10 seed.
Yeah,
If they lose and the other right teams win, fascinating to think they could be the 10 seed, considering how talented that team is.
every seed matters in the Big 12 tournament as well. Like
Yeah.
every little seed, where you positioning in that tournament matters. It's not always about the best team, but positioning and running into the right teams at the right spot. Yeah, Texas, I can ride Texas. Pause.
Virginia Tech's West Virginia's getting 11.5 at Cincinnati. I took the Mountaineers, but no luck. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them.
West Virginia sucks. Give me Cincinnati at home. Late 11.
Texas A&M's in Oxford, Mississippi, jockeying for position in the SEC. I think Ole Miss sucks, and I think the fact that Ole Miss got them in College Station by 3 on January 27th. Revenge is on the mind. I am taking Texas A&M plus 1.5. The buzzsaw is not going to go quietly into the night. What are you doing here?
Oh man, I think Ole Miss needs it more. Give me Ole Miss laying 1.5. I think it's clearly Ole Miss minus 1.5 for a reason. And I think that they need it more. They get it done at home last game of the season. Ole Miss. I'm not going to lock this up though.
I did bet that. I feel good about A&M. They're a veteran team. Ole Miss is brand new. Beard year 1. Cornell, lay the points. Cornell, just blindly. Farmageddon on the hardwood. This is an opportunity. This is what's great about today. There is so many teams fighting to get in the big dance that are, probably on the outside or last 4 in. When I think of Kansas State and Iowa State, first off, great rivalry game. Villanova, we know on the outside for the most part, they play a top 10 team, Creighton. Will Brown says, "Am I drinking a Yoo-hoo?" No, that is just the coffee my wife made for me. I wish it was a Yoo-hoo though. But Villanova has an opportunity. Providence has an opportunity to beat UConn. Kansas State has an opportunity to take down Iowa State, number 6 in the nation. New Mexico has an opportunity to go to Logan and beat Utah State. There's so many of these pivotal games. I would even say Mississippi State taking on South Carolina. Everyone's battling to get in there. And look, I'm buying in. Kansas State and Jerome Tang have something about when they play at Bramlage. They just have a knack for getting it done. They're 13-3 there. He has an unbelievable record in overtimes. They lost 2 straight games. I think the number 6 Iowa State team's coming in there, and the line's actually kind of reflecting it. You would think this would be more like 7 or 8 points. It's 3.5. I'm betting on Kansas State plus 140 money line. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Kansas State at home, especially in the Big 12, I mean, they've covered this line in every game except one, and that was that weird game against Oklahoma where Oklahoma was 73-50, 53, beat them by 20, dominated that game. I think they covered this line in every single one. I like Kansas State to get this done. They need this game. They need it for it. The resume into the dance. They had it circled. This is senior night, and they know that this is going to be pivotal in one, creating that momentum going into the Big 12 tournament, but also trying to string together a resume. This is a quad 1 win, and you need it. So yeah, Kansas State, I'm taking plus 3.5 spread on money line.
I love it. Wagner, Central Connecticut State doing bad on the NEC. I don't have a line on this right now. I don't know where the fuck that went, but the NEC is in action today. Tournaments, playoff games. Creighton is laying 1.5. Number 10 in the nation. Creighton as they head to the Wells Fargo Center. Yeah. Welcome to Jurassic Park as they're taking on Villanova at the Wells Fargo Center. I hate them not playing this on campus.
Second lock.
Who you on?
Villanova.
Me too.
This is the Villanova spot.
I agree. I think these desperate teams are the angle here.
Can I interest you in a little Wildcat parlay?
Oh,
A little Wildcat parlay.
I like it.
Hey, the desperate Wildcats of NCAA.
I like it. The desperate Wildcat parlay. Kansas State, Villanova. See you at the winner's circle. Jump on board, folks. And by the way, that Wagner Central Connecticut State game. Central Connecticut State's laying 6.5. I'll take Wagner, but some people are saying there's rumblings that Central Connecticut State, after another huge loss potentially in the ACC today, that Central Connecticut State's the real Blue Devils.
Yeah. That might be that very well is what the talk of the town.
Hey, they're 20-10, first place. Because Blue Devils should be in first place, and if Duke loses today in the ACC, that would solidify that they're not going to be in first place. And Central Connecticut State is over there in first place, like the real Blue Devils should be. And
I mean, the other Blue Devils kind of lost their devil title when them Demon Deacons took them out and stormed the court. So they lost their devil title then. So I think that Central Connecticut State's battling with like Arizona State or something like that. They're not battling with that team down there in Durham.
Yeah, Wagner in the points though. I think Central Connecticut State wins by 4, something like that. You're gonna like this play. I think Virginia Tech should be bet today because Notre Dame is fucking ass on the road. The Hokies are hot right now. Virginia Tech's laying 9.5. I think the line's even telling you to bet Virginia Tech. Notre Dame's 2-9 on the road this year. Lay the 9.5. I'm locking up the Hokies and Mike Young as they cruise into ACC play with an 18-13 record if they get the dub today.
And I think that this is a team that if they go on a run in the ACC tournament, I don't think that they should be outside of bubble watch. I think they should have the opportunity to get into the tournament. This Virginia Tech team, while they squander on the road and they really, really bad on the road, this is a really legit squad. And I think that they're going to be solid when they get into neutral site territory, get an opportunity, get your fans in there, get their fans in there. You're not worried about the hostile gym environment that a lot of these schools have. So yeah, I think Virginia Tech is gonna be a lot better going forward, and hopefully they can string together a couple of wins in the ACC tournament, give themselves a resume. So yeah, I like Virginia Tech here to just go ahead and not even make it close, -9.5.
Let's go. South Carolina's at Mississippi State. What in the fuck is this line? So number 17, South Carolina, who's battling essentially for the 2 seed. They are catching 5.5 at Mississippi State.
I'm all right. I'm good.
Yeah.
South Carolina. I'm just going to say, I get it. Patty C, dive into the stench, blah, 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 blah. I'm not betting against South Carolina.
What in the fuck is this line? I blindly.
It's because Mississippi State needs to win. And this is a quad 1 win. You got a top 25 team on the road,
and they lost 3 in a row, I think, too.
Yeah,
Mississippi State did. Max already convinced me. I bet Mississippi State just because I was confused at this number. I don't feel great about it because South Carolina's a veteran team. But the number is shocking to me because I would, if I was even going to put Mississippi State as a favorite, to be like a 2 or 3 point favorite. I joked around with Mac last night saying Mississippi State can dominate a basketball game. They're one of the only teams that can dominate a basketball game from start to finish and win by 3. You know what I mean? They're like the UVA, maybe the other. There's only a couple teams that are that defensive oriented that just suck at shooting, but they can still dominate the glass, dominate on defense, and barely win and not cover. I'm taking Mississippi State. I don't have strong conviction with it, but I bet it. So, here's another one that perplexed me a little bit, and I did the same with this one. Richmond just won the A-10 regular season title. They are locked into the 1 seed. They go to George Mason. George Mason's laying 2.5. What? Give me George Mason minus 2.5. The line makes no sense, and Mason's playing for something. They're playing for seeding. What are you doing here, Terrell?
I hate the seeding excuse every time. Richmond is clearly by far and away the better team. I'm taking Richmond.
Ooh.
Similar to South Carolina.
It is, and they're right next to each other. It's like why is Mason favored? William and Mary. Hey,
Boo.
you know, I took North Carolina A&T yesterday.
I should have had it.
I know. Fucking William and Mary.
At the very least, a cover.
Bitch ass team. Catching 10.5 against Towson. CAA tournament.
Are they going to score?
I'm on Towson minus the points.
I don't think they're going to score. Towson's defense is pretty good.
Well,
Towson's defense is up there up there at top of the conference. Yeah.
We Tigers. All right. So this one, East Tennessee State is getting 7 to 7.5 points against Greensboro. You have to shop around because there's a lot of variance on this number. I have a future on UNC Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet East Tennessee State plus 7.5 because I don't think this is just going to be some blowout with Greensboro and Tennessee State. Tennessee State just beat them like a week ago. I know I'm walking a fine line here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a SoCon tournament. This game's going to be tied up with 3 minutes left. I just refuse to believe that Greensboro's going to beat them by fucking 20 points or 10 points. Give me ETSU, despite me having a future on Greensboro, and lock it up. What are you doing here?
Oh, sounds like you're hedging, sir. Sounds like you're hedging. I wouldn't.
7.5.
If that was me. If it was me,
setting these numbers.
If it was me, I wouldn't hedge like that. It sounds like you're hedging. I would green up on UNC Greensboro if I was you. But you know, that's just you. Yes, you're provocative. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money and how to bet your bets. And if you wanna hedge, then you can hedge. I didn't know that we did that at SGPN, but
no,
I mean,
no hedge. Walking a fine line here. Walking a fine line here.
Man, I'm taking UNCG, man. I think they're going to go in here and absolutely destroy East Tennessee State. They feel like they're by far the better team. They should never lost that the last go round. And the difference here is, you know, not only the offense for UNCG, but just the free throws. And you got 73% from the free throw line, 68.6% for East Tennessee State. I do agree with you. I think the game's going to be tied up in the last 3 minutes, but I think those free throws towards the end and the scoring from UNCG is going to get us where I need to be. 10, 11-point win for UNCG in this one.
Well,
I like them to get it done.
Here's what's wild about this number. You can get a 5.5 right now. Yeah. You can get a 7.5. You can get a 5.5. That's what I'm saying. Some of these books are late to adjust on this game specifically. So maybe we can even middle this.
We did it with Richmond and VCU. We did it with Richmond and VCU, so it's possible.
There we go.
But I got another lock around this time slate.
I'm talking about the Big South?
Mm-hmm.
That's the very next game. This game's awesome.
Yeah.
Gardner-Webb's getting 2.5 in High Point, North Carolina against UNC Asheville. Who's closer? Is Gardner-Webb closer to High Point?
Gardner-Webb. I think Gardner-Webb's technically closer. It's not. Yeah, I think Gardner-Webb's technically closer. I have to look that up.
Curious what your lock is here. Lead the way on this one because I didn't bet this, but I'm very interested. I mean, Gardner-Webb. You almost fucked up, and probably should have lost yesterday. That call was a little nonsense. I took the running Bulldogs on the picks page, getting 3.5. It is down to 2.5 from what I can tell. What are you doing here? You taking Drew Pember in Asheville?
Yes, I am. Lock up Asheville to get it done. They lost to this team twice this season already. They are not looking past Gardner-Webb anymore. They know exactly what they need to do here. And Drew Pember is going to go out there and have a great game and ball out. They got by far and away we're talking about conference tournament season. The free throws are going to come in handy because teams are going to try to extend that game at the end. They don't want to go home. They want to try, because once you lose in the Big South, it's it. Your season is over. There's no hope for an off season or postseason or anything like that. No. So 75% to 62% on the free throws. I think that's going to come in handy today. I think that they're going to be able to offensive rebound today. I'm all over UNC Asheville to get it done. They're going to get the first win of the season against Gardner Webb. Lock up -2.5.
Woo! I do have a Gardner Webb future as well, Pinto. A bit terrified because they have won 4 straight, and last time they played Asheville, it was a 1-point win, so it wasn't like a blowout win. This is an awesome game, though. I'm sticking with my running Bulldogs. I'm not hedging. I'm no Gardner. And yeah, can't wait to watch that game. Terrell, lock it up. UNC Asheville -2.5. Got to ask you about this game because I find this game ridiculous too. South Florida has won 15 straight games. Playing for an outright bid. So there's plenty of reasons to show up today. They head to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to the team in 9th place in the AAC, who's 4-6 in their last 10. And for some reason, this spread's only 4.5. Hard to make sense of it. Ran my numbers, had this at 8.5 spread. I mean,
what numbers did you run, Kobe? What numbers did you run?
We made the spread, like we make the spread, and just like I do on the SGP show when I gotta concoct these numbers, I pretty much put like 10 different numbers into a little calculator and come up with a number. I got 8.5. This line's 4.5. Your thoughts?
I'm taking Tulsa South comes Florida. In and plays defense. I think Tulsa plays defense.
Do you think they cover this 4.5? Huh? I'm not betting this game because this stinks to fucking high hell. But
yeah,
I'll take the Bulls -4.5. No lock.
I'll roll with Tulsa +4.5.
The Definitely Golden Hurricane. They'll storm the court. I don't know. The last game I saw there was like today? Temple. No, he's saying Temple-like number as far as like
I was about to say,
it's a little rigged.
I'm about to say, let me figure out what I need. Let me go ask somebody what I need. Look, I'll be trying to
play tomorrow though.
I don't care if you rig the game. I do not care if you rig the game. Just let me know the right side to be on when you rig it. I'm perfectly fine if you rig sports. Perfectly fine. It's some people that go out there and be like, oh no, for the integrity of the game, you got to be a man of integrity, of honor, of conviction.
If you're on the wrong side, that's what you say.
Yeah, screw that. Tell me which side to be on that you're fixing and let me know so I can be on that side too. I'm all in for the fix when I'm on the right side.
The Black Sox, historically, the Chicago Black Sox. Look, luckily we weren't alive around then because Terrell would have been all over the Black Sox. Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech. I have to crowbar this in because Louisiana Tech's going to fuck up Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee's horrible on the road. La Tech is just lost the top seed.
Fighting for a share. They're trying to get a share.
Yeah, they can still get a share. And I think you load up on Middle Tennessee's 1-9 on the road. Fuck out of here. La Tech's going to win by 20. Let's go. Bet that. Get in on that. Also, Vermont.
Wait. Slow down there, sir. Because I agree with you with La Tech. But I think Middle Tennessee isn't going to go away. It's the last game of the season. What do you have to lose? You're playing the second best team in the conference, and you can play spoiler. Like, I'm not going to say they're going to go out and do it, but at some point, La Tech is going to be up 15 with 3 to go, and they're going to call the dogs off because they know they got it done, and they secured a share of the championship, and they're going to win by 10. So you know what? I'm going to lot battle you.
Just want to let you know that 7 of the 9 road games I'm seeing on here, Middle Tennessee's lost by more than 10 points. 7 of the 9.
Hey, man! 1 year A&T lost every single Division I game except the last game of the season against number 1 Central. Give Middle Tennessee to get it done.
We're doing battle in the CUSA.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, Dundee with the Bulldogs. Terrell with the Blue Raiders.
I've actually bet every single CUSA game today.
CUSA Terrell. Look, I don't want to talk on this game too much because this line shot the fuck up overnight. But I just want to remind people that me and Mac locked Vermont minus 14.5 or 14, one of the two. And it's at 17 now. 17.5 now.
Still take it.
I'm still lean that way, but obviously it's a horrible part of the number. Yeah, I mean it's the tournament. You got to. That's on campus.
Reese Puffenberger isn't walking through that door anytime soon, people.
Right? Binghamton is getting 2.5 at New Hampshire. I took Binghamton to win this on the money line. This is actually on campus in Durham, New Hampshire. I don't have that strong of conviction with it, but I took Binghamton on the SGP show. I needed a dog. Row with Binghamton. They've been playing better towards the second half of the season. That was the logic. Don't have any strong conviction besides that. Your thoughts?
I'll take the home team.
UMBC is catching 8.5 at Lowell on campus. Check the points. It took UMBC in the points. Lowell tends to play. I was
about to say UMBC might make this a game.
Yeah. Sunbelt tournament here. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns beat the piss out of Coastal Carolina the other day. Covered the big number. They're taking on Arkansas State. Arkansas State's laying 1.5. I bet the Raging Cajuns.
Arkansas State.
Raging Cajuns won it last year. They got that experience. You're on the Red Wolves, huh?
Yeah, I'm not betting it though. So you have more conviction than me.
This game is awesome. Northern Iowa is getting 7.5 against Indiana State. Watch out, Indiana State. I want to see Indiana State in the NCAA tournament. But as someone that has a future, I didn't take a future on Indiana State because their value wasn't any good. I did take a future on Northern Iowa, and I buy into this being a very fucking dangerous game for Indiana State. Northern Iowa has won 7 of their last 10, including 4 straight. I feel like Jacobson, their coach, has a knack for winning in March.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like they beat nobody too. They beat Belmont the other day, who was red hot. They beat Southern Illinois to end the season, who's good. They beat Drake by 14. They beat Bradley by 11. You know, this is a team that is very well capable of beating Indiana State. They beat Richmond this year. Richmond won the A-10.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a super, super fucking dangerous game. I will take the points in Northern Iowa. Indiana State, I hope you win the game. In a way. I mean, I have the future of Northern Iowa. I just want to see Indiana State in the tournament. I believe you're this good all year. You deserve to make the NCAA tournament. But hey, Sycamore fans, buckle the fuck up because this is going to be a game. What are you doing here?
Indiana State's covered this line in the last 3 meetings versus UNI. I think that UNI makes this a game in the first half. Indiana State pulls away in the second. I'm taking Indiana State minus 7.5.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You seen that guy? Have you seen that?
I've heard of him. I heard he's some guy that I think he played like football or something like that.
No. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like the Kareem. The
you talking about? Is that what they're calling him? Is that what they're calling him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He looks like Bill Lambier, but he's actually He's got some. Dude. He went for like 36 a couple nights ago.
Yeah, he's good. This
Yeah.
is gonna be the moment he shines in the Arch Madness tournament. He's gonna get his shine.
All right, this is an easy play for us. Charlotte, who's third place in the AAC, is heading to Greenville, North Carolina, and ECU's the favorite. Don't insult me. Don't insult me.
I made a Schwartz spirit what a world.
This is a lot. Senior night. Senior night. Why else would ECU be favored? A team that's lost 4 straight, lost to Charlotte by like 20 the first game. Make it make sense.
Yeah. In state. Little crosstown rivalry going on.
Load up. Get in on these Pirates.
Yeah, I'm locking in with the 252 here.
Let's go. Fairfield, Mount St. Mary's. I'm on Mount St. Mary's to upset Fairfield. That's not a tournament, but keep an eye out on Mount St. Mary's. Fairfield had their struggles on the road. I'm also on Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M. Bethune's only laying 1.5 Terrell. Should we load up on Reggie Theus and these Wildcats or what?
Yeah, I think they're going to give him a game. I think they'll give him a game. I'm not. Yeah, I'll take Bethune. It's a tough place to play. Go in there and play FAMU, but I think Bethune's got enough to get it done. This FAMU team sucks.
Colorado State's laying 10.5 at Air Force. I know you were in the United States Air Force, so ignore this when I say bet the shit out of Colorado State. Isaiah Stevens is going. Look, for some reason, Air Force is horrible at home. What are you doing here?
And Colorado State has the altitude factor in their back pocket as well.
That's true.
So it's not even an upgrade there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with Colorado State. They're going to beat the crap out of those douchebags from the academy.
Miami is getting 4 at Florida State. This game, man, kind of thought this game was going to be a lot more important in November. I'll take Miami. No real conviction.
Give me Florida State.
All right, now we're getting to it though. Kansas getting 7.5 at Houston. Top 15 matchup. Give me the Jayhawks plus the 7.5. I know McCullough's got to play this game for me to feel great about this, but I think he will.
Houston really makes me pay when I go against them, and this feels like an easy Kansas spot, but Houston might just show up. And first season earlier this season, this is a really nice bounce back spot. You want to prove, hey, Kansas, when we said we were coming to the Big 12, we were the number 1 team, and that includes you. We know the pedigree you've been at. You've won a championship. We trying to get there too. I think Houston comes in here and puts some paws on them. Yeah, the Cougars put paws on them. Give me the Houston Cougars -8. I'm dangerously close to locking that.
I was about to say, is that a lock?
I'm dangerously close to locking it. I really could see Houston just go. I don't think that KU is that good at all. I really don't.
This is one though. I almost think if you're Houston, you want to lose a game. You've won 8 straight. You're going in,
but not this one against Kansas. Lose. All right, blow the Big 12 championship game. You still feel good about your chances in March, but against Kansas, losing to Kansas twice in a row this season after your first season in the Big 12.
That's true, but I think a blue blood parlay is live. Me and Daquan thinking on the same level here. I'm taking Kansas. I'm also all over this next one. Kentucky is getting 7.5 or 8 at Tennessee. Tennessee already clinched. Tennessee beat Kentucky at Kentucky. But what has Kentucky done this year on the road? They beat Auburn, the toughest place to play in the SEC. They've won at Arkansas. They've won at Florida. They've won. Where was the other one? Mississippi State. Kentucky's winning this game today, I think. Tennessee's already clinched.
I think that's what everybody else is saying. Everybody's on the Wildcats. Opened up at -9.5, down to 7.5. My question is, why did it open up at 9.5 in the first place if they knew that Tennessee didn't need this game? I think it's because Rick Barnes plays so well at home and towards the end of the season, and he builds that pedigree going on into the tournament. And if they lose this game, they are not getting a 1 seed. I think that's the motivation. I think that's why this line opened up -9.5, and they're letting the money pour in on Kentucky because everybody thinks that, they wrapped up the 1 seed in the SEC tournament. They don't need this. No, they still want the 1 seed in March. This is Rick Barnes we're talking about. Rick fucking Barnes, the guy who sits here and takes every single game after February up until the NCAA tournament seriously. Every single game up until the tournament seriously. Then he gets in the tournament and he folds. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to fade Rick Barnes here, knowing that he's still trying to get a 1 seed in the overall tournament. Give me Tennessee -7.5. I know that I am firmly on the other side. Everybody is.
I don't get bring the home, but they're counting down 7-6-5.
Everybody's on Kentucky, but this Tennessee team plays defense. They're pretty solid. This is Rick Barnes in March before the tournament. It's a spot that I like to back them in.
We're doing battle. Razorbacks. Balls are in trouble. They already clinched. They got nothing. Yeah, you're going for
90% of the money. 90%. 90%. Everybody's betting on Kentucky. It does. Sometimes it does. That's a lot.
Boner Chap says, Colby, I'm in the process of lining up an autograph for you that I'm sure you'll love. Ric Flair? Let's go.
Curious. I'm super curious about who that autograph is. Is it the Boz?
Yeah, the Boz. You got to have some important ones out there. I'm trying to think. There's a few out there that are on that level. I feel like or
is it the guy that designed Soldier Field?
Soldier Field, incredible. But no, I would go with like Lambeau over that. But
Lambeau, you will okay. The guy that
because Soldier, people don't realize that they played at Wrigley for a long time. I like Soldier, but they played at Wrigley for a long time too. So that's why they should play more games at Wrigley. They should honor history instead of destroying it like a corporate America shopping mall, just putting bullshit in there. It's got to appreciate
every field should have a baseball field on it as well. That's how you know it's legit.
I love baseball fields with football fields mixed together. I really do. I don't know about every though, but I'm on board with a lot of them. And look, come on, get this. What is? I mean, how many? I don't know if you've been to SoFi. SoFi is like a goddamn fucking nightclub. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? I know we're on the other side of the spectrum on this one. I don't need a fucking personal chef for when I watch a fucking football game. All right. I don't know about you. I think we're on different sides of the spectrum, but I think that should never happen. New Mexico State's going to beat Florida International.
I don't know. I would like a personal chef. I mean, I'd be hungry. I don't be wanting to cook for myself. Like,
no, see, they should always serve shitty food at a game. What? I don't believe in. Yeah.
Why do I have to eat bad to enjoy football?
Why
can't I eat good and enjoy
that's part
football?
Of the experience. Well, you don't eat dinner at a fucking football game. All right. You plan around this shit. All right. You plan around it. You don't throw in shit. See, the more shit you throw in, the more it ruins the experience.
So a steak dinner and a football game is a no-go.
Fuck no. Don't ever do that.
Oh man.
Don't ever do that. Go to the steakhouse after or before. Thank me later. I fucking bartended at a steakhouse for fucking 10 years.
I have to have a glizzy. Like that's staple. It has to be a glizzy.
I'm just saying there's rules to this. To me, the experience, it's like getting peanuts at a baseball game. All right. I feel like you should. That's true. A lot of people are. Well, then don't get peanuts. But it's still like if you're not allergic, it's part of the aura. You know what I mean? Baseball games, Terrell. I know you would co-sign this one. A lot of times it can be boring. It can be boring, right? You go into a baseball game live.
Yeah, definitely.
That there's just something to getting peanuts, getting the jawline working, crunching, and then you're just like, hey, I'm kind of in this.
That's a steak here. Medium rare.
Yeah, that's
medium steak.
Can you imagine with the fucking knife? It's just you don't do that. You don't. Look, this is the best way to explain it is like it's like okay. You ever had the jelly beans? They made a popcorn flavor, and the fucking scientist should get an award, or whoever put that thing together should get an award because it's realistic. It tastes just like a fucking piece of popcorn, but it is a terrible fucking jelly bean, right? You throw it in there, right? They did a great job. Give them credit. They did a great job, but you can't just throw that in there. You're having like a watermelon jelly bean. You're having, all these other normal flavors. If you just grab 2 or 3, if you're driving and you grab 2 or 3 and eat that, the popcorn will fuck it up for everybody. You don't just do this shit. This is like, there's other things that I understand you're good at your craft and you made this, but it should never happen. Just fucking saying. Just saying.
Hey, man. I also too enjoy the food at Nat's Park, Clark. I too enjoy the food at Nat's Park. It's better than the food at who is it? The Guardians. It's better than the food at their spot. I like the Nats food.
I don't fuck with I don't want a meal at the game. All right. I don't want
I want to be hungry when I leave.
Yeah. And then you go to a nice place and that's part of the experience. I think you're all doing it fucking wrong. If you're sitting there saying I'm going there to eat dinner. I'm going to and guess what? There's a baseball game or a football game too.
Hey man, can we get a money line dog parlay before we get up out of here?
Wait, we still got to talk about Duke, Carolina. What's going on?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking about my money line dog parlay, and so you made those two things not be the same thing, but they're the same thing for me. My money line dog parlay starts with North Carolina. There's no if ands,
especially when the line went up. They asked me on the SGP show, and I'll gladly admit I Benedict this one. They're like Duke -4, and I was like, I can see Duke winning this one. Free throws at the end. Duke -5.5. No, give me Carolina. And then Mac talked me into Carolina winning on the money line, and I was like, they are the more experienced team.
We're gonna punch them in the mouth. They're gonna go in there. They're gonna punch them in the mouth, and because last year was an atrocity. Last year was a horrible season, and they took advantage of it. And you know what? Payback's a bitch.
Shire did sweep a year ago. Hubert Davis.
This is for a 1 seed. You win this game, have a decent showing in the ACC tournament. I think they could potentially win it as well. You're a 1 seed. This is the 1 seed. Give me UNC to get it done. What?
Let's go. I'm with you. Give me them heels. Baylor, Texas Tech.
I got a Duke cup in the cabinet. I'm about to set it on fire.
How the fuck
I just got an evil eye. I just got an evil eye for that. I can't do it. I can't set it on fire. I just got an evil eye. I'm sorry.
Baylor, Texas Tech. Baylor's won 6 of the last 8 against Texas Tech. I'm gonna take the Baylor Bears +2 in Lubbock to get it done.
Yeah, Baylor Bears.
Clemson's at Wake. Can Wake right the ship? I'm taking Wake Forest -3.5. Lock it up. Yeah. By the way, I'm betting Baylor too. I'm betting Baylor. I'm betting Wake. Let's go. I got to ask you about UConn laying 9.5 at Providence. Providence win and you're in. It's that simple. Do you know Providence has won 5 of 6 at home against UConn? And the one that they lost was a 3-point loss in overtime. That pretty much solidified me just going all in on the Friars today. UConn already clinched. I'm taking the Friars +9.5, and I do think they're live. Lock. What are you doing here?
What if Providence just sucks?
They've done solid. I think considering the Bryce Hopkins injury, I thought they wouldn't sniff the NCAA tournament once Hopkins went down.
I'm taking UConn -9.5. I'm with who said it? Yeah, Clark said it. I'm with UConn. That was Ed Cooley that was doing that.
New Mexico fighting for their postseason lives, going into Logan. Utah State, you win, and you win the Mountain West regular season championship. You lose, you get a share of it. New Mexico is catching 3.5 in Logan. Yeah, this is a great fucking game.
Give me Utah State to get it done at home. Lock it up. They normally play well towards this end of the season. Secure themselves in March.
I know we got to go, but Furman, Western Carolina, and the SoCon. I took Furman as a 1.5 point dog. This game's going to be fucking awesome.
Lock up my school.
Let's go. I'm with you. And parlay to get out of here. To me, I like that Daquan mentioned the blue blood parlay. I like a Kansas, Kentucky, Carolina parlay. I know you're not with me on this, but give out a parlay for the good people.
Man, I would love an ugly parlay, like an ugly one.
I like our Wildcat parlay. Our Wildcat parlay. Yeah. K-State, and who the fuck was the other one?
So K-State and Villanova. So
you could have that. You could add Bethune-Cookman to that. They're the Wildcats.
Oh yeah, we can throw Bethune-Cookman in there as well. So Georgia Tech only beats good teams. They're playing a quote unquote good team in UVA this year. And Missouri hasn't had a win in the SEC all year.
I'm on the Missouri side, but I'm actually on the Virginia side. I think Virginia, they're trying to make the NCAA tournament. I think that style of play fucks with Georgia Tech. I'm laying the points with.
Or do I go NC State versus Pitt?
That could happen. But I didn't touch that game. That game's a hilarious game. But
you know what? Yeah. Screw it. Give me a Missouri NC State money line parlay. Let's dive into the stench today,
folks. We are
you
the
have
college.
To humble yourself. You have to humble yourself by betting a parlay that you don't think is going to hit because you don't know everything. I gotta admit, I don't know everything. So there's a point of me that doesn't think this is going to hit, but there's also a part of me that says the stench is good enough where Missouri finally gets a win last game of the season where LSU was probably checked out, and North Carolina State just slaps us in the face one more time and gets another win for the end of the year.
I could totally see that. Folks, give Terrell a follow on Twitter at @reallyrail__. Check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast, the NFL Gambling Podcast. And yeah, I see 400 people in this bitch. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate you. I'm on Twitter at @TheColbyD. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on the Sports Grid and VSiN all day today. So hop on over, check out both of them. You know, playing both sides of the fence here. And yeah. Tonight, back talking games. I can't wait to watch all this action. Everyone out there, stay safe or not. Get fucked up. I don't know. But stay safe. Try to stay safe. Until next time, folks, this is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins, over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a Friday day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain.